Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Nobunaga's Ambition. I'm the Mysterious JG. Last time, as in several videos before, we've been slowly building up our capacity to launch an attack on the Matsudaira. We've, at this point, we've got until September 1539. We've got about 4 years to get it done. Now, they told us we had 4 years at the beginning. Seems like that counter says we got 5. So I think before we attack, I'll save. I don't want to save scum, especially not in a strategy game. But if we attack and then before that deadline, like the deadline described by the text, and not the deadline described by the actual quest screen, tells us that we ran out of time, well, I don't know what we're going to want to do other than try to attack a little earlier, I guess. Other thing that happened last time is that we started to find out that 2 of our officers are being dicks. One of those officers is Saruko the ninja. Not the most loyal ninja ever. For historical reasons, I'm worried about losing this guy because I don't want to break the history. Otherwise, I'd be far more concerned about losing Saruko. His loyalty is above the required level. But somebody's messing with him. Somebody's meeting with him. Somebody is spending a certain set amount of gold per turn to build up Saruko's. And best way I can explain it, since I don't think I'm allowed to see it for officers in my own force, is to show an attempt at somebody else. Because you know, for a while I was thinking about grabbing one of these. Well, they look like they made Lubu happy, or they moved him. But Mr. P has a loyalty of 13, and Akira Hato, who would be a really good, actually, she'd be a really good political officer, not a war officer. She's got a loyalty of 9. She'd be easier to hire away. But basically, the discontent, they must have taken some steps with Lubu. Let's find Lubu. See what's up with him. See how he's doing. Pay him a little visit. See how he's doing. There was Lubu. Lubu still works for the Matsudaira. He doesn't get along too well with his master. But his loyalty's low too. Oh, they must have located him in a new city. I was about to say his loyalty's in the crapper. I should be able to think about hiring him away. He's in Nagashino. His loyalty really is in the crapper. Getting Lubu to work for me wouldn't be a bad idea. I could send my discontent. It's like, I don't like working for them, but maybe you will. But honestly, it's probably wiser to get Mr. P. He's got pretty good overall war stats. Let me look at my own officers. As far as leader in Valgo, Nobuhide will be leading a unit for sure. Saruko, maybe. He doesn't have very good leadership. He's got good valor. And that might be the opposite of the build he meant, and I screwed up when I explained how they worked. Skaji North will almost certainly be leading a unit. And Garth Morgan will be leading a unit. As a matter of fact, I need to move him. Well, I could leave him where he is and let him lead a unit out of that city, but they'll just be a little late to the fight. So he wouldn't necessarily, if I brought Mr. P over, he wouldn't necessarily be leading a unit, but he would, be a valuable addition. I might just let him stay with them and fight him in battle, capture him that way. Akira Hato, I think in the long term would be a good addition, but I've got people with pretty good pull right now. And you can't use, I mean, you need them in each city. I can't have like 2 different overseers tune 2 different things in one city as much as I'd like to. I think we established last time that we're out of facilities to build, although actually I think a new facility might have become available in one of these cities. Maybe not. Well, rice dealers can't advance any further. Neither can farmers' fairs. Most of the facilities I'm building are cutting off with only one, and in the long term that might not be the best way, but I wanted to get something going. It'd be really nice when I can build a large garden, but that's probably a ways off. So I could either start spending gold on trying to acquire officers, or I could put that policy back into effect, and I'm inclined to go with the policy. Because trying to hire away an officer might fail on me. The policy is going to have a concrete and predictable positive impact. So I will get that going again. This is going to take our income and cut it almost in half, but, well, it's about 2/3 of what it was, between a half and 2/3. And it's not anywhere near as big a deal as it had been before, because, frankly, I think what happened is I was just, I wasn't making enough money and hadn't developed enough to be able to afford a policy.
Let's let everyone know.
Place. I was getting a little ahead of myself. So the alternative would be to not grow, not go with a policy, and to instead,
what do you like?
See, I could buy treasure. 6,000 gold, and that is why I'm not hot for teacher. I mean, hot for giving treasures away willy-nilly to asshole ninjas who are put in charge of a castle and still don't think that they're being treated well enough. How good do you think the Matsudaira are going to treat you? If they're probably the ones who are conspiring with you. It could be someone else. Could be the Imagawa. I could look it up. I don't want to take the time, but they've almost certainly got more gold to spend than the Matsudaira do. So we've got a couple of years to work with, but I don't want to fudge around for too long because it's going to take a little time to actually... I don't want to be like, okay, I've spent 4 years, now I've got a year left to take that castle. Because it can take a while. So I want to make sure that I attack when I've got some time left. It's bugging me to have that 5 labor there unspent, but let's do it anyway. I'll tell you one thing, Saruko, if he leaves my force and never accomplishes anything else again, he did a good job scouting 3 cities with 1 scout. Well, not 1 scout, but the idea is that he led a group of intelligence operatives, but he scouted 3 cities with like the use of 1 command, and
your orders. Here is last month's balance.
What happened there? We got another message.
Reporting in.
Garth Morrigan is now fucking around on us. Well, you know, Soup Phantom, you've done a great job, but it might be time for Garth Morrigan, who I think is up here too, to take over for a while. Because your loyalty's at 13. Garth's is at 10. This, I mean, logic tells me this is stupid. I know he's talking to somebody else, but I think in game logic that was a wise move. In real logic, it doesn't seem like it, and it might turn out that real logic is more applicable than I realized. So Saruko is at the proper loyalty level, but he can still, and it makes sense. Air of distrust oozes from attitude. Should probably avoid causing more discontentment. But I can't actually see his discontentment level. My master Nobuhide doesn't seem to care about the discontent of us. I think that's what when they're saying that somebody is spending gold to make them discontent. Well, what am I supposed to do with you? I guess I could put Hidesada in charge of a castle, but I don't have another castle. And Soup Phantom is now on the bubble because I took away him being in charge of a castle. So, trying to juggle all these guys. The alternative is stop spending so much money and acquire some treasures. And as a matter of fact, part of me wants to save the game, but that really is cheating. I could give Saruko a treasure and then put Hidesada in charge of his castle. I think Soup Phantom will be okay where he is for a little while. This is a grade 1 treasure. I don't want to give that away. I think that's really expensive. This is less expensive. But I'll also be getting new officers who will also have issues later. Now, I'm going to try to hold on to my treasure. The real treasure, of course, is officers who are faithful, which I should realize. So I could just avoid spending so much gold. It's been a while since I've appeased clans. You guys have stopped supporting me a lot because the Honganji have either worked on you or it just degraded with time on its own. And I don't know, these guys are split between us and the Matsudaira. So working with these guys, they might actually come to our aid if we work them. But I'm creating another gold vacuum here by doing this. Oh no, this is a one-time expenditure. Okay, I'm gonna be sick with myself if I end up losing any of those officers defecting, and I didn't, because I wasn't willing to splurge and hand over treasure. But gold's a little tight right now. I want to check on that Shimazu clan. I'm just curious if they're... I know it doesn't matter at all, but I'm wondering if they're taking out Mysterious JG's clan. And it looks like they yep, they are. Or somebody is. Yeah, Mysterious JG's clan that he was part of, is their initial base has been wiped out. And from playing around with it, these two cities suck. They are going down. So, who knows where JG Mystery will end up, but he's not going to be there for long. I suppose I could check in. Other people want me to check in on their officers as well. And I guess at some point down the road I'll need to do like a catching up with everybody. Akira Hato with the Matsudaira. Some of you guys chose Japanese sounding names. And you don't have a character bio, yeah, because you are a created officer. And that's the force you wanted to be with, so you're doing alright. If you gave yourself a Japanese sounding name, I'm not going to recognize you. I'm going to skip right by you. So Cory Hall is an overseer and a lord with the Otomo clan. Dylan Disaster is working with the Nagao clan. And Earl King is working with the Hojo. He is likely to stay with the Hojo for a long time because I don't think the Hojo are going down anytime soon. Fat John's with the Shimazu, beating the shit out of JG Mystery's force, if not JG Mystery himself. Oh wait, Garth Morrigan is pretty obviously a created character. Oh, he's fine. What the fuck am I talking about? Grim Myth Reaper is with the Hojo. That is not unexpected. He is a retainer. His loyalty is at 20. I'll treasure what I've received. Well, there you go, Grimmeth. I shouldn't have humored you. I gave you all these skills. Now the Hojo, like, fucking locked you up forever. I think I'll get along well with my master. Grimmeth is probably going to serve the Hojo until I find and defeat them. Go Away is with the... he's pretty happy. He's been given a treasure. I think that's a thing. I need to think about giving treasures to my retainers who are Well, these guys probably don't. Yeah, he's working for like these guys are not a major league clan. They probably don't even have a treasure to give. So again, folks, as I said, if you gave your character a Japanese-sounding name, I'm probably going to skip right by without noticing you. Not intentional, it's just how it's going to be. J4W Pirate is working for the Ashikaga, who's it's like the major shogunate, isn't it? He does not have a treasure. Neither does JG Mystery, but I think that's because JG Mystery doesn't have frickin'... His clan doesn't have shit. He's only a retainer. He's not even the lord of the castle. Fuck that, JG Mystery. Come, get out of there. Come work for me. That is oddly enough not a created character. That is just a plot character. There's a Junko Tsutsui. I just think is a really cool name. Kagatsuna Naoe. I think that's the father of the Samurai Warriors character. Really cool character portrait that guy has. So I'm trying to scan this slowly enough that I'll actually catch the... Oh no, you're not a created character. You just look like one. You just play one on TV. You have not been given a treasure, and that's the only thing that's going to keep you put. Although I'm not doing anything about trying to hire you. There's Mitsuhide Akechi, who... Now, this was dumb. Why did we do this, Axe Dwarf? You didn't pick a location. You should have gone to work for the Saito, where Mitsuhide Akechi would be. But you may or may not have known enough about the history. Not calling you dumb, I'm just saying if you haven't been playing all these Kowai games, you might not know that that would have been the force for Mitsuhide to be in. And I'm sure if we'd started in a later scenario, you would have asked to be in Mitsuhide's force. That would have made sense. Keep on keeping on here. We're not even halfway through the list. Jeez, I can't do this frequently, folks. It's going to eat up a whole video doing this. Mr. P, we've seen him. He is the lord of the castle. Night demon with the face he didn't choose because he couldn't be bothered to describe the face he wanted until after I'd given up. He's Lord of the Castle. He's actually pretty happy, and he doesn't have a particularly high loyalty requirement. But he's working for a clan that ain't, you know, a huge deal. So they might. Did it say marching? Oh, look at her. She looks sweet. Sorry, what the hell? I was a night demon. Where'd you go? The night gallery. What the hell happened? I totally lost Night Demon in all this. Oh, the all caps put you out of... He's marching, so you're actually probably right in the middle of a fight. And you're probably going to lose. Sorry. But you're working for a fairly weak clan. If you're on the march, it's probably because you're being attacked. Not the other way around. Now, despite you having a Japanese-looking name, we happen to land on your portrait, and I happen to recognize it as one of my created officers. So you're working for the Uesugi. Your loyalty ain't that high, because frankly, there's enough really good officers in your force that you're probably not blowing them away the way you would if you were in a smaller force. So that's the give and take. You can be you can be an officer for a strong force and not really be treated like all that, or you could be an officer on a weak force and be their most treasured officer and still get crushed because your force is weak. Or you could be Grimmeth and I fucking gave you too many skills and the most powerful force on the map is still giving you treasure to try to keep you locked up forever. And I'm not bitter. I'm just saying that's pretty much what I look at this. The portraits. Keep on rolling here. I'm committed now. I need to finish doing this and then just not do it again for a while. Because I could do this much faster, but I would probably miss half the created characters. I must have done so. I mean, we've only looked at like a dozen or so. Yeah, we know what force you're in. What am I doing? Or there's a bunch of you who are still Ronin, like seriously didn't go to work for a force. Tell you what, if you're still watching, and shame on you if you submitted a character, won your way into the LP, and have already stopped, because somebody else who's still watching wanted to get in. But anyway, shame on you people who aren't watching and won't hear me saying this. But if you're still watching and you were, I went through this whole list of officers and you never saw yourself, just let me know, because I'm curious how many officers are out there still Ronin. They keep a Ronin. Keep a Ronin. I wish I could, like, sort by bios, and all the characters with blank bios would be at the bottom. All the characters, because then they would be the created officers. All the characters whose bios begin with the letter A are at the top. Fourth head of the Asakura. Okay, I need to try to go faster and just hopefully eyeball names that are odd. But there's Tama, Sakon Shima's youngest daughter. Oh. Never heard of her before. She seems like a kind of fanciful character. She's in the game before Sakon's born, probably because I set all of the created characters to just pop up whenever. And if she's not already in the Samurai Warriors series, which she's not, they're probably planning on putting her in it. They love... I can't say I blame them, but they love to find reasons to put female characters in those games just to make things more interesting. Kanbei Kuroda's wife. Kanbei is a pretty important character. There's so many freaking... There's 50 created characters, but there's like over 1,000 characters, so you're still like needles in a haystack. So you look like a created character, and then you actually have a bio. You're actually legit. Third head of the Hojo clan. This is Grimmeth's boss right here. Yazuk from Mozambique. So again, apologies if I zipped right by you and didn't notice you and stopped to look, but if you at least saw your name, then you'll know that you're working for a clan. Seikenpachi was created, wasn't he? Yeah. He's with the Azai, which I think is what he asked for. No treasures, so... Doesn't necessarily mean you aren't valuable to your force, it just might mean they don't have treasures to hand out. Zerfall is... Oh, he's not doing that good. He's the lord of a castle, which makes sense. His force has 2, and he's almost certainly the best statted officer in that little force. But he doesn't get along well with his master. I'm sure they don't have treasure to give him. Zerfall is going to be kind of holding that place together on his own, I think. Anyway. And we have another castle falling. Castle's made of sand.
Let's begin the meeting. Here is last month's balance.
So we're losing money because I'm spending money to get the tribes on our side.
Reporting in.
And we had success in that. But I still feeling very uneasy about the loyalty of my officers. And I face a very uncertain future at the hands of Square Gallagher. This guy's furious. I should put him in charge of a castle if I don't want to lose him. But then again, he's not that attractive a character, so... Sounds so judgmental. No, but he's not such a... He doesn't have such great stats that enemy forces are going to immediately jump on trying to grab him for themselves.
What would you like?
So there's a few ways I could go with this. I could start stockpiling gold to be able to afford to buy more treasures to give to my officers. That's probably the wisest course, actually. I know I'll be getting Katsuie soon, and he starting off doesn't particularly like... he's not that happy to begin with, but he's a long-term, very important officer for the Oda. So I definitely don't want to lose him. I think that would actually break... I'm pretty sure the plot would get broken if Katsuie Shibata defected. So when I get him, I might need to give him a treasure like right off the bat. So I could just start saving money with that in mind. The enemy force isn't really growing that fast. That is definitely a good thing. At this point, if I could, because you don't necessarily march your entire army of a city off into battle. You'll take a unit of a certain size, but at this point I have the ability to roll over those guys, but you never know what my other neighbor's going to do. These guys are still favor us over the Honganji, but not by a whole lot. I think I need to get these tribes like way up. We'll get their support, my liege. So I don't have a lot of gold left. I'm getting pretty close to maxing out my gold income. But we'll do one more. Oh, boy. Should I just hand a treasure over to Saruko right now and get it over with? I guess I could give him a lesser treasure, but if he takes a treasure and defects, I'm going to be pissed. I only cared about Hidesada because I don't want the plot to break down. This would only increase his loyalty by 2. Because it's not a high-grade treasure. Of course, if I give that to him and then decide to give him a better treasure later, I get this back. And he would still not be immune to being removed from my force. Intelligence of 100. He's got a weird build though, and it might be my fault because I inverted leadership and valor when describing what they do. But he does a lot of damage and he has high intelligence. But he's not a great leader. I'm gonna give him my shittiest treasure and hold on to my very best treasure. That's what I'm gonna do. Thank you for this wonderful treatment, my liege. I feel bad because I feel like I should be giving off treasures. In a way, I should be giving treasures to officers who don't need me to give them treasures. You know what I mean? Reward those guys. I'm honored to have made Lord of a castle. I'll treasure what I've received. My liege, Nobunaga, and I seek to create the same kind of world. My master, Nobuhide, doesn't seem to... Oh, Nobuhide. Yeah, if he leaves with this treasure, we're going to take that slicer Hasibe from you, pry it out of your hands by stomping down. Like, you'll be on the ground, swords to your throat, because you've been captured in battle. Going to stomp down on your wrist to force you to release it from your hand. Take it, cut your head off with it. Saruko, I'm just giving it to you now. Giving you a treasure. If you defect, you are dead. Assuming I ever get the opportunity to capture you. If you defect, you're dead. Anyway, I'm the Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time as I continue to threaten my created characters. Bye for now, folks.